So let's have a look at the differences or similarities between Rory Mcilroy and Hunter Mahan, obviously playing in the Accenture World Match Play Final this week. Looking at their starting positions, we'll notice with a similar club, slightly different posture, arms hanging a little bit closer to Hunter Mahan's body than that of Rory Mcilroy. One of the biggest differences, however, though, is if we look into the middle of the backswing, you'll see here by the mid backswing position that Hunter's got quite a large shoulder turn. We can see there his chest is starting to face this down the line camera. We'll notice at the same position here with Rory, the turn is a lot less with the club shaft sitting a lot steeper. A lot less hip rotation as well, of course, for Rory. As Rory allows his arms to swing up, we can just about make out the top of his right shoulder between his right elbow and his left elbow. And as we get Hunter at the top of the backswing, a much flatter looking position where we're unable to see the right shoulder quite as clearly with the club slightly laid off. Big difference in the turn. We can see that quite clearly here with the belt buckle and how much we can see with Hunter's and how less we can see, of course, here with Rory's. So as we move Rory down into the middle of the downswing, okay, as this is a high-speed camera shot, okay, it takes a little bit of time. He gets his hips pretty square to the target line by this position, and if we do the same with Hunter, we'll get his hips square by that position there. So quite similar here, but you'll notice that Rory is pushing into the floor harder, and this is a trait which is quite common with longer hitters. They tend to push into the floor quite a bit harder in the downswing, and of course he's losing a little bit more height. Tiger has a similar action. So as he starts to push off the floor, as we come into an impact position here, we can see a substantial amount of shoulder turn and hip turn, and if we compare that to Hunter Mahan's action, then a lot less shoulder turn. We can see that the right heel's a little bit less off the floor. Rory has this double hip shift, which perhaps has been well documented over a period of time, where he turns his hips aggressively towards the target, maybe a little bit too far, then he has to move them back, almost involuntary, and then they start turning back towards the target again. And of course this also produces this very open shoulder position, one of the reasons why Rory hits the ball a lot farther than Hunter. You'll notice though with that flatter action in the backswing, Hunter has a bit more connection throughout his swing, which is also a good trait for straight driving, and they exit a little bit differently. We can see a higher movement through the golf ball with the club in relation to the left shoulder with Rory, and that flatter action through the golf ball there with Hunter to really match up what he was doing in the backswing. So a much more rounded, closer to a one plane golf swing, closer to a little bit more of a stack and tilt method, certainly a more centered action. Rory with much more drive and lower body pressure into the floor. So if we want to hit it longer, then a technique closer to Rory's action is a good one. They both hit the ball very straight. Hunter probably has the edge. His driving is probably the best part of his game. He's certainly the most accurate, and that flatter action there at the top of the backswing and the shallower action through the golf ball certainly contributing to greater accuracy with the driver.